Okay, so it's 11 o'clock, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to this third webinar that we have prepared in the framework of One-Stop Stairway and prepaid projects. Those projects has been funded by the European Commission and are also targeting AI communities, including DIHs, and have been supporting different SMEs in the uptake of AI. The webinar today, it will be dedicated to funding opportunities. As we all know, to uptake the technologies, it is important that SMEs have also access to funding. And today we are going to share an overview on some of the public and private funding opportunities that could be used for this purpose. But first, before moving to the session, let me share with you some housekeeping rules. As you know, this webinar will be recorded. It will be used only for reporting purposes. Also, the participants are automatically muted. So please, in case that during the questions and answer session, there is any question that you would like to make, use the chat. Also, all participants are required to use their real names and surnames. And please don't turn your camera on. This is for the good sake of the connection for the webinar. Don't unmute yourself. And as I said, please use the questions and answer sessions at the end of the presentations to share your points of view and ideas at the end of all the presentations. So now, the agenda for today. I'm your host, I'm Maria Roca. I work at Funding Box, and I'm currently leading the activities connecting with the DIHs. And I will be today, following together with you the presentation of the different speakers, and as well I will be presenting to you different public funding mechanisms that are mainly related to cascade funding opportunities, but also opportunities for DIHs that could use to explore collaboration with other DIHs. We will have with us Andreas Duburg, that is a colleague from Funding Box, presenting the different opportunities in the private sector. And then we will go to the success stories of our colleagues, Alisa, Savisa, and Maria. They have been working in the DIH, supporting SMEs in the uptake of AI and other technologies, and they will be sharing with us their success stories and ideas on how DIHs can improve their role in facilitating the adoption of AI, that, as you know, is a key technology now for the European Commission. So now, going to Andreas, I will be introducing him. He's a colleague at Funding Box. He has an academic foundation in engineering, with a specific focus on innovation and sustainable product development, and has been taking part in different deep tech projects and acquired a substantial business expertise. So he characterizes himself as a classical engineer, spiced with modern business know-how, which I find a very interesting way to define himself. So Andreas will be presenting some private opportunities that are available, and I give the floor to you. I will stop sharing my screen, and Andreas, you will now be able to share yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I was just kicked out quickly, but I hope I can manage now. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me, and sorry for the technical issues. So my name is Andreas Dubois Limkilde. I am a business development manager here in Funding Box Research in Denmark, where I am based, and then I am project manager of one of our private initiatives, SCORE. And I'll be talking specifically about this in relation to the opportunities for SMEs in the private sector. So what is SCORE? SCORE is a sports tech innovation program by Real Madrid Next and Funding Box. And over 3 years, starting in 2021, we are selecting up to 30 startups and SMEs with an average of 10 in each of the 3 batches that we are running. I guess that most of you, of course, know Real Madrid and the football club itself, but the partner here is Real Madrid Next, which is the brand underneath Real Madrid, who is leading their innovation projects and developing these with a clear collaboration with the startups and other companies seeking to improve the performance of Real Madrid through the support of the ecosystem here. So this project has a focus on 6 key areas, which are e-health, performance, audiovisual, fan engagement, cyber tech or cybersecurity, and social. And these are related to all parts of the organization of Real Madrid and not just the performance of the players and the field itself. And within this project, besides selecting them, the companies, the startups and SMEs here, Funding Box is supporting all applicants and all the selected in getting into other additional funding programs where there's actual soft funding taking part of the program. So this is an idea of a private initiative building on top of the other programs that we have to give them additional opportunities. And that means that when you enter SCORE, you also enter from another project, so that you come with the sufficient resources to be able to commit to what is to be delivered within this project. So from the first batch, which is ongoing right now, we had 11 selected companies, and they worked in a broad range of different topics. And one of them was self-rehabilitation using AI, so that players could, after injuries, do specific exercises using AI and being guided here on how to train specifically on rehabilitation after a specific injury, and through AI have the adjustments and the guiding here. Then we had some with foot biomechanics with smart sensors to try to see if the way that you step down on the soles were actually had any relation to the kind of injuries that you got. So a study on that. Then we had different VR and AR content development projects. We did indoor geo tracking using radio frequency also, because this is not just about the players on the field, but also the stadium and the entire environment there. There's a lot of people there. So how do you track that? We had some with cybersecurity. It's a large organization with many sensitive data, and therefore it's also really, really important to make sure that cybersecurity is targeted. And then also we had an RFID technology to activate the fan base, because there is also a lot of fans not in the near area of Real Madrid, so they are connecting from all over to make sure that these are also a big part of the fan base and how to connect and activate them. So one quote from one of the supported startups in the project was Yerba Buena VR, and they said, like, we really appreciated being a part of the Real Madrid Next initiative. It has been a very pragmatic journey to meet key people in Real Madrid and also understand the technological needs of a football club such as Real Madrid. And in this phase, we are already working on several tracks together with Real Madrid. And then on top of this, that Funding Box has been really supportive in the process of getting European Commission funding to kick off the activity. As I said, there will also be support in connecting this to other funding initiatives. Right now, we have an additional open call number 2. And here we are selecting 10 startups on SMEs before the end of the 2022-2023 season. And that's, of course, a football term. So the deadline will be by the end of June. And up to 10 startups or SMEs will be selected here. But besides the actual end date, applicants are assessed and pre-selected every month and then supported in additional funding. So once applying to this initiative, you will be led together with some of the people here trying to assess the different technologies that you are working within, and then being supported and also have additional funding or get access to other programs. Within this specific call that is ongoing right now, we have the same 6 key areas as I just explained before, but there's a special priority to wearable and non-wearable technologies to enhance the performance of especially the players and on the field. IoT and improvement for medical care and health, immersive VR, AI, and XR technologies, AI and machine learning, data privacy, cybersecurity, digital twinning and smart energy. Also, the stadium has just been rebuilt, so it's more digitalized now, and with an energy crisis coming up, energy consumption and smart energy is also a big part of this now. And all applications go through worldwideweb.score.fundingbox.com, and here you can see much more information about all of this. So besides what I already told, what is the actual benefits of joining a program like SCORE, where there's no funding in it itself? It is, of course, the access to equity-free funding and us supporting in getting access to additional opportunities for startups and SMEs, so that they can also get into other projects, build or develop their technologies that are to be deployed within this Real Madrid project. Of course, having a boost, a company boost, connecting with one of the largest European tech startups, deep tech startups, and of course, working alongside a brand like Real Madrid and engage with their world-class mentors. All selected companies will have a mentor that from within Real Madrid, dedicated to the specific department that they are engaged with. So could be regarding the fans and the marketing area. It could be with the doctor staff and in relation to injuries and so on. And then, of course, there will also be a lot of different topic-related webinars through the SCORE community that you will be joining here also. And then hopefully also this will be a part of a global growth. So it is an opportunity to take your company to a global scale and build connections, and hopefully at the end also have the opportunity to attract additional investment. Real Madrid is not investing as a requirement, but they have the opportunity to. But more importantly, they will become a main client supporting in deploying this technology, and hopefully that will continue after the project itself, that they will become a client there. So I'm really happy to support you if there's any interest here on how you can link your companies or SMEs that you are working with this project. And as I said, please go to score.fundingbox.com to learn much more about this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andreas. So if there are any questions for Andreas, please leave it in the chat. It's very interesting, also to hear, how SMEs or startups can also get access to different private funding, and especially get connected, as Andreas mentioned, not only the funding, but the connections and the access to new ecosystems. And especially if we think of Real Madrid, which is one of the most well-known football clubs in the world. So I think it's a very good opportunity. So thank you very much, Andreas, for your presentation.
Thank you.
And now it's my turn to explain you also the opportunities that are available in 1 second. I'm sharing my screen. The opportunities that are available at public level. As you know, Funding Box is one of the organizations that is currently managing a good number of cascade funding projects. So it means that we, through the different European projects that we manage, in small bulks, we create different open calls with different objectives, and we channel all these funds through our with our open calls through startups, SMEs, or in other cases also DIHs. So why is important to have these opportunities in mind? As you are aware, part of your work as a digital innovation hub is to support your SMEs in testing new technologies. And cascade funding, one of the objectives of the cascade funding is to facilitate the access to different tools, resources, or technologies to SMEs. So it means that the projects that I will be presenting you here have different open calls. Each open call have different objectives. So it is important that even though you can find the information here as a summary, that you check all the different websites to make sure that your SMEs can apply. But still, is a good way to get in touch with this new European funding, with also the opportunity to access to business mentoring, support, and also technologies, and of course get funded for this purpose. So the first project that I will go a bit quick, okay, through all the opportunities, but just for you to have an overview. In the case of Restart SME, is targeting traditional manufacturing SMEs. And as you can see here, they are fostering alliances. So they are connecting tech-savvy companies with manufacturing companies so they can work together towards specific challenges. Also, this project is of interest because they have many online courses for SMEs, for manufacturing companies, to raise awareness about different technologies, processes, or how to get access to consultancy. So it's a project to have in mind, and also to try to not only get connected because of the opportunities, but also the different trainings that they are offering. Another one is Change to Twin. And this is a project that is mostly fostering the use of digital twins in manufacturing companies. They are granting up to 90K in order to deploy the digital twin in your manufacturing company. So this is a call that, the deadline is, I think, oops, maybe we are a bit late with this call. Sorry for that. I don't know if they got an extension, but in any case, I will check afterwards, okay? Also, a Stairway. So a Stairway, we have the project manager of Stairway among the audience. So if you have any specific question, you can also ask them. But is to prepare a feasibility study for the AI adoption by low-tech SMEs. So in case that you, in your network, you have SMEs that are still wondering whether AI could be a technology for them, I think this is a very good opportunity. Also, as you can see, they can get up to the 10K per beneficiary. So it means that not a lot of efforts is required by the SME. Of course, they need to be engaged and participate in the activities, but still, is a good opportunity for them to get in touch and know more on how this technology can support their company. Then we have EU Robin, that here, this is also an interesting call for DIHs, because as DIHs in some occasions are also, you have among your members research organizations, is a call that you could explore, okay, and check if this is of interest also for your company. As you can see here, the main objectives is to an exchange program to build transferable tech solutions on robotics and artificial intelligence. So it's worth of exploring, how your DIH can get involved in this type of call. Then we have Hungry Ecocities, which is a very interesting project that here they are looking also for artists that collaborate with SMEs in different sectors. As you can see, they mentioned here agri-tech, also on AI, and also digital tech researchers. And they want to include the approach of the artist in all these processes for, improving the factories and so on. So this is really an interesting project to explore, not only to participate, but also to check on the results, as including this new aspect of artists is very innovative. There are also other projects that has been working on this, like better factories, and we have also experience in previous projects. I will share also a video with you of a company that was working with an artist in order to develop new products, new paper products. So, the approach of the artist included in the whole process of digital transformation of the SME really brought very nice results. Then we have NGI Search, that is mainly focused on researchers, hackers, startups, and SMEs, and is mainly to work on natural language processing, semantic analysis, and data visualization. But still, this is a call that is being very popular, and also the funding is very interesting. So you should check it before the end of this month to make sure that you reach to the deadline. And then we have Pulsate that is more focused on SMEs and adopter use cases, especially they are looking to manufacturing companies that are interested in implementing laser-based advanced additive manufacturing technology in their processes and business models. Something that is important here is that in this open call, they support the SMEs in checking, it's a little bit similar to what a Stairway does, but here is mostly related to additive manufacturing. And they are, during 3 months, assessing together with the company the feasibility of using this technology in the whole, processes or product development, depending on the company. And then we have also DIMOFAC, which is another type of project that they are looking for customization, well, for SMEs that are more interested in mass customization, okay? As you know, this is one of the main aspects now being discussed, or, at least at the manufacturing SMEs, how mass customization can be done in order to create more flexible and more flexible products and also processes that allow the modulation of the product lines. So this is still, you have still time to work on this. And also, this is an interesting project that beside the different services that you can see here that you will be able to access to, you will also be connected to different open pilot lines networks that are connected with DIMOFAC. So again, it not only allows the testing of a technology or the recipient of services, but also to get connected to a new network that also, as a DIH is also interesting to be connected to open pilot lines. Now also we will have these steps, technology and experimentation facilities that will have to work with DIHs. So at the end of the day, it helps you also to build a network of different service providers and resources that could be also funded through European funds. So not only by the provision of services, but also through access to funds. And then we have also Interconnect. You can see here that is especially working on the interoperable frameworks, and the call will be open until the 14th of June. And then I think in the case of ICUS, is still some time to think about it. This is mainly related to the use of IoT. You can check their website, but as I said, it will be only starting in August. So there is still time to think about this open call. And the same for Nefeli, that will be more in the future, but of course is also relevant because they are going to support the development of virtual objects, composite virtual objects, and generic IoT enablers. And with this, I went very quick, but you will have access to the presentation. One of the things that we wanted to cover today, because within the networks of DIHs and now the recently approved European Digital Innovation Hubs, there is this question of collaboration. And what I wanted to share with you are some ideas on how, through the different open calls that are currently available, DIHs could still explore this collaboration. I mean, when we talk about collaboration, is not only to collaborate, in a specific European project, but to use these European projects to develop a framework, that allows your SMEs to get access from other DIHs abroad. And this is, as a European DIHs, now that they are now coming into the scene, this will be very, very important that you make sure that regardless of where the SME is located, they have access to other DIHs or to other facilities that perhaps you cannot offer from other countries. So that's why I thought that, sharing with you the different opportunities that you could explore with other DIHs is something that you should really consider, not only, again, to grow you as a DIHs, but also to improve your portfolio of services and make sure that your SMEs will have access to any facility or services from the best DIHs, regardless of your specific sectorial coverage. So one of the first calls that I wanted to share with you is Excellence Hub. You can find it, the name of the topic included here. And this is a very interesting topic also to work with the widening countries. And I'm really happy also to have today Savisa among us. He is representing the DIH in Serbia. He will be explaining their experience later. But it's important, to build this connection not only at EU level, but also, contacting with other widening regions in order to create these collaborations among countries that are perhaps, more advanced in the development of the DIHs, are countries, where also there is a lot of added value in seeing this collaboration. And again, the same the other way around. Also, I know that in some countries, the collaboration among countries is very important, especially if we think, for instance, in Romania, where they are very strong in ICT companies, but it's true that, they need to look for other companies from abroad in order to implement their services. So through this type of project, this kind of connections can be built. In the case of Excellence Hubs, it's important also to count with the regional or national governments, because at the end of the day, the policy level is also important in this type of project. But of course, there are some others that are maybe perhaps not so demanding. As you can see here, you have teaming, twinning, and pathway to synergies that are also included in the WIDERA. If I'm not wrong, this open course will be open until September this year. So, this can give you also access not only to develop different collaborations at the service level, but also to develop something more on race awareness, or maybe also a peer learning among two different DIHs. So those are, calls that are of interest for exploring. And of course, if you are looking to connect with other widening countries that you don't have access to, you can always contact with us. We have also today the experience from Maria Rossetti, that she's with us today. She has been participating in BOWI, one of the projects that is supporting in establishing these connections between European countries and EU countries and the widening countries. So, there is a lot of opportunities in this region to connect and make sure that also, countries that are from the widening regions are getting access to the same opportunities as other SMEs. And then we have Interreg. I thought this is a very popular program that allows especially the connection at policy level, but still, in your DIHs, you have regions involved. So this is a program that could be used for this peer learning. I know now there are several challenges, at national level. For instance, how to support SMEs from different countries. How can we learn from experiences from other countries that have been supporting SMEs? So at the end of the day, using Interreg in order to establish a peer learning or maybe a network of DIHs to exchange information on how services from one country to another could be improved, or why not, to create a macro hub of DIHs working on a specific area. But these are only ideas that come to my mind, and that's why I selected those calls to explain to you. And of course, you don't have to forget about the calls in Horizon Europe that are still mentioning this connection with EDIHs, with TEFs, that is another entity that has been supported by the European Commission in Digital Europe program, and that, of course, it will be relevant for EDIHs and TEF to connect between each other and make sure that the SMEs have access to a cycle, to a whole framework of different opportunities that allow them from the very beginning to raise awareness on a specific technology to the final uptake and the consecution of additional funding for them to invest in this technology and make a full deployment of this technology in their factory shop floor. And with this, I also want to take this opportunity to invite you to an event that we are organizing in Brussels, the 11th of May, where we are going to talk about how, the best ways and methodologies for DIHs to collaborate between each other based on this Bowie project that I was mentioning before. But still, also there will be a session the day before. I will share the links later in the chat, where one of our colleagues, Lucia, I think she's also among the audience today, will be explaining a little bit more on the different opportunities that are available for the DIHs, followed by a networking session where the DIHs that are interested in the different calls will be able to collaborate. So this is also an opportunity for the DIHs to join and continue working together in the framework of these opportunities. Okay, we will be sharing all this information in the chat. So this is my presentation, and now we are moving to I think Alisa, you are the next speaker. And also Alisa, we invited her because Alisa is now involved in a project that is called AI Regio. They are also exploring, how this collaboration between the DIHs is built, and with a specific focus on AI. Okay, so her experience is very related to what we are covering today for the session. So Alisa, while you are sharing your presentation, I will introduce yourself. Alisa Zakaria, she's a PhD in biomechanical engineer. She obtained her doctorate in 2021 with a thesis related to computational models of cardiovascular devices, and she's currently working at Consortio Intel MEC as European project manager. So Alisa, thank you for being here today. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
And you see the screen, yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So good morning to everyone. As I said, I work for Consortio Intellimec. Consortio Intellimec is a consortium of enterprises. We involved about 48 enterprises at the moment. And we are located in the Lombardy region, more specifically in the Chilometro Rosso Innovation District. Our mission is to connect our enterprises with research centers, meaning universities, but also other kind of research entities with which we have connections. We strongly believe also on touching with end innovation, so with testing before investing. And this is why we rely also on laboratories. We have a showroom in Dalmine at the Point Innovation District, where we have collected some of our demonstrators. And we have also strong connections with the SMILE, which is at adaptive factories. In this laboratory, we have some demonstrators that we use to train students mainly. And finally, we have a private research laboratory, Joint Lab, that we have established with Istituto Italiano della Tecnologia, IIT, which is focused on robotics. And in this laboratory, we are applying the robotics technology of IIT to real industrial use cases. So as I said, in AI Regio, but even before in the project AI Regio, we have we were focused a lot on the collaboration among the DIHs, and in particular we exploit the methodology in which we have categorized our services following the DBEST taxonomy, so subdividing the services in ecosystem, technology, business, skills, and data. And we have also subdivided the services based on the customer journey. The customer journey in this case is reported for an end user, but it may be different for example, for a technology provider. And this kind of categorization of services gave us the opportunity to find collaboration. In this way, we were able to clearly identify which kind of services we can provide to the specific end user. And we can also compose the services with other DIHs. I have reported a specific case for one of our industrial partners for SCAM. In this case, we have highlighted the services which may be useful for SCAM. And we have also involved the SCAM in our Horizon Europe project, so AI Reg 5.0. Just a brief introduction on their use case. They wanted to digitalize their production lines, and this means to digitalize the quality control and also to identify correlation between outputs and inputs to optimize the process and for predictive purposes. And so this is the roadmap that we have built for them. We started from the technology scouting, then we perform a technology readiness assessment, and we identified opportunity, in this case, AI Reg 5.0. And now we are cooperating with them for the data pipeline, so to implement the solution. This is just an example, but however, this kind of services categorization is very useful when more DIHs are cooperating together.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alisa.
Thank you.
This is a good example on how the DIHs could collaborate, following established methodology, different steps that allow, to support the SMEs from all the perspective, that is relevant. Thank you. So now I give the floor to Maria Rossetti. She will be introducing the role also, how the DIH has been supporting SMEs. She holds a degree in international relationships and an MBA in innovation management. And she has been in charge of managing the Enterprise Europe Network project, coordinated standardization working groups at national and EU level. And also she is now participating in coordinated EU funding projects with a focus on DIHs and EDIHs, and leading the EDIH in Lombardia. So Maria, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks a lot, Maria and Fundybox, for the opportunities of introducing our activities and services as EDIHs. Very fast, MADE is a competence center which has been acknowledged by the Italian Plan for Industry 4.0. We are located in Milan, Lombardia, and we benefit of 2,500 meters square facilities with more than 100 demonstrators that we use basically to implement our mission as the EDIH. As in Telemec, our soul and actually strength is our ecosystem partner. We are indeed a consortium which are matching together technology provider, universities and users, as well as educational provider, in order to support us to boost and pull the excellence of Italian manufacturing skills in order to support the digital and sustainable transformation of Italian industries, both in Italy and in Europe. As anticipated, we have been selected by the ministry, and we are among the 8 competence centers present in Italy. Still, we are the only one focused on manufacturing. And here you can see the first services that we implement as a competence center. That is the education one, linked to the training in terms of raising awareness, such as providing webinars, as well as providing more dedicated and customized education services, including specific training and courses session, teaching factories, and we do support the companies through supporting the hard part of the technologies, of the technology transfers, supporting industrial process. That means that companies can come at our premises and use our facilities in order to prototype, test concepts, and validate ideas. And finally, we do also participate in European project and funded projects in order to basically include and implement our mission at EU level. As I will not make a deep dive on the EDIH, but I would like to stress a message that was given by Maria, the fact that we are leading also a network of an informal network of European digital innovation hubs focused on manufacturing, and we are experiences also in our, let's say, evolution from EDIH to European EDIH, that collaboration among regions is very, very important, especially when you have to find and match gaps in terms of services and competence, or open up to new markets, such as the opportunity that was given us by the BOWI projects. Here, again, very shortly, you can see how our testing facilities are organized in terms of technologies areas and use case. Indeed, we are able to actually summarize the whole manufacturing process, starting from the virtual design to the end of life cycle, simulating 6 pre-industrial scenario. And actually our testing facilities will be the main character of the activities that we are providing, and the services that we are providing to companies as DIHs, where we are experiences, even if we were not part of the AI Regio project, the best, where we are experiencing the best services, especially focusing on the technologies and the ecosystem part. Just to make an example, we have closed this year the DigiBrain project, which was a project that was financed inside the DigiBrain project, where actually MADE was acting as a digital innovation hub in order to support through Test Before Invest activities the implementation of the digital twin in order to optimize the design and engineering of a manufacturing assembly line who actually was assembling calipers for car brakes. And our role as Digital Innovation Hub was, first of all, to support the Test Before Invest facilities, as the machines that you see here actually acted as a pilot assembly line in order to provide the data, to nurture the digital twin, and to define the scenario, but of course also to support the technology matchmaking, because we support basically the technology provider in order to find an interested end users. And secondly, inside the DIH for AI project, it was interesting because, as Alissa was mentioning, we experienced the DIH collaboration in order to support the customer journey of R4P, that is a Lombardy SMEs who, as well in the AI sector, is supporting an AI vision system for checking the quality of different metal components. And in this role and in this project, actually, we both supported the companies in Test Before Invest activities and ecosystem, because again, we provided our testing facility, specifically the robotics part, in order to implement the experiment and solve the technical challenge of the project before going to market. And secondly, to connect these companies to the external EDH that is placed in Slovakia, supporting basically the company to open up to new partners. Namely, these DIH supported us also in the ideas generation part, because as universities, they provided also the scientific and technical knowledge in order to refine the requirements. And last but not least, as mentioned by Maria before, we were also happy to participate and recently close the collaboration with an Hungarian DIH in order to support this, in order to open up to new market and experience collaboration with, let's say, less developed or actually Eastern countries. One final words, I would like to stress also one point that was said by Maria. Use really, because it was really important for us in the evolution from EDIH to EDIH. Never forget to use cascade funding as a test before invest for EDIH in order to test cross-regional services, because some things that I forgot to say, but it was quite obvious by the slides, is that thanks to this cascade funding and the DigiBrain was also managed by the funding box, we were able to test on a cross-regional level the access to funds services in order to find also companies and connect DIH with on a cross-regional level. So I hope I stayed in the time.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. So yeah, I know that you have to leave very soon. So yeah, thank you very much for tackling my questions in your slides. And now it's time for us to move to our last speaker. That is Savisa Gordic. He's a research assistant at the University of Belgrade. And he's also leading regional, just for those that are not aware, the University of Belgrade School of Electrical Engineering is a leading regional higher educational institution in Belgrade, in Serbia. And Savisa is mainly experienced in agile robotization of manufacturing processes and human-robot collaboration. Also, in the last 5 years, he has taken an active role in supporting SMEs in finding funding opportunities, and he will be sharing with us what they are currently involved in. And later we will have some questions and answers for Lisa and Savisa. So Savisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. As Maria already said, my name is Savisa Gordic, and I will try to say something about our Belgrade Robotics Hub, which is partner to many of the organizations that we have speakers from today. First, I need to say something about our faculty, because it is the, I don't know if you can see my whole screen, but.
Yes, we can see perfectly.
Okay, that's good. Because that's where I work, and this is basically the core part of this Belgrade Robotics Hub. We have a long tradition of 75 years. We have a lot of teaching staff, many of whom are professors with PhD. We have 2 members of Serbian Academy for Science and Arts, which means that we have really top-notch researchers and academicians. We have already been the leading institution in electrical and computer engineering for education in Southeast Europe for a long time now. But what is more important for this, let's say, presentation is that we have more than 100 ongoing projects with industry. We have 20 national scientific projects, some of which are also very connected to the applications in industry, and especially in SMEs. We also have 10 ongoing international scientific projects. And I don't know if you can see behind me, I'm in the lab now, and this is where we can actually test some of the things that we do for the SMEs. And this is something which has been completely equipped with donations and with sponsorships, which means that we really have a very good collaboration with the commerce and industry. We have until now more than 22,000 graduates, and we have more of them coming each year. And the good thing is that we are trying to provide the best possible education in engineering in this region. And the good thing is when they leave the faculty, they start their own companies. So actually, when we collaborate with companies in Serbia and in the region, not only here, we are often collaborating with CEOs or with engineers who finished our faculty. But as I said, we are only a core member of the Belgrade Robotics Hub, which is an informal organization of several members, meaning that we do not have any, let's say, strictly legal form that obliges us to collaborate, but we collaborate nonetheless because it makes sense, because we can provide good services in electrical engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics. But also if we need to have something from the mechanical engineering faculty, they're also one of our partners, or Institute Mihailo Pupin, which is also one of the oldest institutes in robotics, actually the oldest laboratory in robotics in the world. They're also part of our consortium. We have Science Technology Park and Business Incubator, who are on the level, let's say, of supporting SMEs, and not only SMEs, but also mid-caps and large companies with different services that they provide. In this sense, especially the Business Incubator of Technical Faculties is important because it can provide support to companies when they start in business and in many other fields, and they can actually find their offices in Science Technology Park at very favorable conditions with subsidized prices as well. But we also have the industrial partners such as ABB and Servotech, which are, let's say, ABB is well known, especially in robotics, and Servotech is also one of the integrators. So everything that SMEs might need from us as a hub, we can provide to them. But our technology expertise is mainly focused on robotics and artificial intelligence as one part, let's say, of the, I'm not going to say supporting technology, because it can be also looked from the other perspective, where robotics actually supports AI, but also cyber-physical systems and IoT. And we support companies in manufacturing, healthcare, agri-food, and logistics. And our idea is to really try to push our industry and SMEs the best way we can to, and help them to adopt new technologies which are compliant with Industry 4.0 and 5.0. And by doing so, to help them actually make this quantum leap, because they are in many fields lacking at the moment. And here on this final slide, I might to show that we are part of many of these initiatives. And as Maria already said, it is very good to be part of the widening region and to collaborate with our colleagues from the EU countries, because we can really offer best support possible, to our SMEs, but we can also help European SMEs to find partners here. And even our consortium, even our Belgrade Robotics Hub was founded during the I4MS initiative, where we have actually recognized that such kind of organization would be helpful primarily to the SMEs. And all of these projects that have been funded recently, some of them did not have the AI as the primary motivating technology, but all of them ended up being at least very compatible with AI and very interesting in implementing AI in the end. And in the Bowie project, I believe that all of these experiments that are funded have very, very interesting, let's say, field of application of the AI, and I think they are doing a very good job at that. But also all the other companies that you can see here have application of AI in completely different fields, and it is actually the participation in these projects that help them to implement it in their companies. So very briefly, that's all from me at the moment. If you have any other questions, you can also address to me at this email, and of course we can discuss it here.
Thank you very much, Savisa. So now that you have your mic open, I wanted to ask, what are the main challenges for your SMEs when it comes to adopting AI?
Yeah, well, there are different SMEs in Serbia. There are even those who are not really interested in AI and really should not be interested in AI. But out of all of those who are interested, and there are really, really many of them, and as I said, many of them have applied to these projects and actually found out only when they applied that they can implement some of the AI, let's say, functionalities in their solutions. I think the biggest obstacle for them is, in a way, not knowing a lot about AI, and don't having too much trust in AI. So they usually need to have someone to explain to them what are the possibilities, how could they implement it, what benefits it would bring to them. And we often do this analysis for them as a service that we provide as a DIH. And they are like, yes, that's all good and well, but we would like to, see it to believe it. And for that reason, it helps that there are many of these projects that can support them also financially, so that we can try to implement some of these, let's say, functionalities to them, or demonstrate that something really works. For example, Galeb company that is in here in the top right, let's say, corner. They have implemented one very interesting solution where we actually followed the brain activity of the workers who are working manual assembly to detect when they are going to have this, let's say, huge mental effort. You know, when you perform something in hours on end, it gets boring after some time, and then you start making mistakes. And this is a company which cannot afford such mistakes, and they get costly. So, for example, they did not even know that it is possible to monitor the attention of the worker, you know, and to help them to dynamically allocate workers when they are fed up with some task, to allocate them to another task. You know, so they would not know this without coming to us, and we could not show it to them without support that we got through, for example, Shop4CF project, but also for other companies that are, for example, funded through Bowie. We have very interesting use cases, and for many of them, the funding was not really the main obstacle, but they used the collaboration with partners from other countries to find some, I don't know, places where they can test their solutions. For example, Edfield, they tested their solutions in Romania and in Italy. They produce IoT equipment for vineyards to help them to estimate the humidity of the ground, the access to some pollinators, to assess when there is a risk of some disease happening. And actually, they use this network not only to help them to improve their devices and work on their AI and hardware, but also to find partners, which is very, very valuable for them. So in a way, the main obstacles can be really successfully overcome through these projects, at least from our perspective. And the biggest projects, the biggest obstacles, as I mentioned, in our experience, are actually the lack of trust sometimes, or lack of knowledge that is also related to this lack of trust.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now, I mean, from my understanding then is that raise awareness is, I think, is a challenge because, of course, not knowing what the technology can bring to your company, you know, then you miss the interest of the SMEs because they don't know how this can support them. But yeah, now maybe, you know, the DIHs have a good momentum now that everyone is talking about ChatGPT and AI, you know. So maybe now it's time for the DIHs to really take over and show, you know, that the AI is not only ChatGPT, but there are many more things that they could do with this technology, right?
In a way, it makes our life easier, in a way.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Avisa, for your experience. And then, Alisa, what about in Italy? Do you face more or less the same challenges when it comes to supporting SMEs, or yeah, what do you think?
Yes, I think that it's quite similar. It's the real difficulty in involving SMEs in this kind of innovation activities is the missed awareness, both concerning AI advantages, but also concerning funding opportunities. And so maybe it seems also to require much more effort than how it effectively needs.
Okay, and then, for instance, in the case of your experience in DIH for AI, or AI Regio, sorry, I don't know.
AI Regio, yes.
AI Regio, yeah.
Maria Rossetti.
Maria was for DIH.
Yeah.
What was more, you know, what companies felt more comfort, or that what the companies thought would bring more value to them? Because Avisa was mentioning that maybe funding, of course, was the first foot, but at the end of the day, they realized, you know, that this gave them you know, very broad opportunity.
No, yes, indeed. In AI Regio, actually, we involved another of our industrial partner, which is Guadini Lamiere, for a logistic use case, let's say. And at the beginning, it was quite difficult to involve them, and maybe they were a little bit scared about how much effort was required and so on. But then the funding opportunity stimulated them in trying this new experience. And at the end, they could actually reach about 20% of gains in timing, and also a safer context for their workforce. Indeed, now Guarini Lamiere is continuing its experience in innovation and has now started this path towards digitalization of the whole factory. So yes, this was a success case. Maybe the funding opportunity stimulated them at the beginning, but then more or less every SMEs which enter this kind of pathway continue till the end.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this leads to my next question, that you know, is especially if there are barriers for SME to access other sources of funding, because maybe the experience of the SME that you are now sharing with us, did they continuously, you know, decide to deploy the technology through their own funds, or did they have access to other fundings?
Actually, both. They tend to continue this innovation experience. They are also available to pay for it, but they are still trying to get funding for it. So they are still trying to get funding, but if they don't get it, they used to pay for it because they have understood the advantages connected.
Yeah. So they saw the value of investing in this because, you know, of course, there was opportunities or to maybe increase the revenue or whatever advantages that really affected their company. Okay.
Yes, usually, yes.
Thank you. And Savisa, what about the Serbian SMEs? Are there any specific funds that are available maybe in Serbia that are not accessible at the European level?
Yeah, well, I think the situation here is similar as in Italy. Nobody is actually shy towards taking money if they can help to their goal. We also have some national funds which are, let's say, well structured, I must say. But the thing is, there is a saying in Serbia that in European projects you report what you are doing, and in Serbia you work on reporting. So actually, there is a lot of administration involved. So unfortunately, not all of them are really so accessible to the SMEs because, you know, it actually requires you to have some capacity for administration, which is not really common for startups and small companies, because you just need to fight it through. But otherwise, there are some funds, and there is a Serbian Innovation Fund, which is actually one of our partners as Belgrade Robotics Hub, not one of the core partners, but we collaborate quite a lot. And there is also Development Agency of Serbia. So both of them are giving grants for the AI solutions as well, and the digitalization and robotization of the workplaces. The thing is, yeah, with all of them, you just need to fight through a lot of administration, you know, because sometimes they are trying to be compliant also with the EU regulations and the laws, but also with national. So you ended up fighting with both administrations, which is too much for everyone. So only the brave can accept it. But otherwise, yeah, there are funds available, and we always try to help SMEs who do not succeed in getting the European funds, or they cannot, or are hesitant towards investing their own money at the beginning, at least, to apply at least for these funds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And then, yeah, maybe, or Alisa, I wanted to ask, what do you think DIH could improve, you know, to support companies better? I mean, what do you think now, based on your experience, what you have learned throughout the years, what would you change or what would you suggest?
I think that the most difficult part right now is collaboration among the DIHs. I mean, as a DIH, we cannot have all the competencies needed for all the different sectors and industries. And actually, also the collaboration we were able to build were usually with close DIHs. So it's it's always difficult to really establish a close, a real collaboration with maybe DIHs located far away from each other. But this could bring a significant advantages since competencies are spread around Europe and are not so localized.
Yeah, and maybe I take here something that Savisa mentioned, no, about the trust, that is also needed first for SMEs to approach the DIHs, but also at the same time, DIHs to approach other DIHs, and offer this access to services. So yeah, this is something that we need to work upon. I think these two events that I presented you could be an opportunity. I know Savisa is going to be there, and Maria will be there too. So yeah, this is an opportunity also, to exchange how this collaboration can be built among the DIHs. So thank you very much, both of you. And now just to finalize the session today, I will go back to my slides just to share something with you. That one of the things that were mentioned, by the speakers today is on the use on the raise awareness, okay, and the reference for SMEs. So at the end, to have information about other SMEs that have gone through similar process or have adopted AI technology to, for their company. Because sometimes I realize that SMEs feel more comfortable when talking with another SME or seeing real examples. Savisa was mentioning, but show me how it can help you. And this is why I decided to close the session today. Well, maybe first, if there are some questions. Okay, no questions. But if there are any question from the audience, please feel free to share with us now while I'm finalizing the webinar today. But what I wanted to share with you is that, as you all know, we have also this AI on demand platform. I'm currently involved in a project that is looking for the support. Well, we are running a consultation among DIHs to ask them, what would you like to find in the AI on demand platform that can improve the services that you are offering to your SMEs? We have launched a survey. We are also going to organize a focus group. So if you would like to, share with us your opinion, your ideas on how the AI on demand platform should be built to really support the SMEs in the uptake of AI, please let us know. Okay, you have here the QR code. It will lead you to a link in order to subscribe, so I can get in contact with you. And also, please be aware that in the AI on demand platform, currently, you can find information about success stories, about SMEs that have been supported through different projects in the uptake of AI, also funding opportunities. And this is something that we sometimes forget. We are really much focused on our work, on our project, but please remember that this research that is put in place at European level can also help you in supporting the different SMEs that are within your network. So yeah, please, if you are interested in participating in this consultation, I will be happy to connect with you after the event. And again, just to let you know that in Funding Box, we are also looking for the, to put in connection different DIHs to inform you about funding opportunities, and also get connected through the different projects that are offering these opportunities, not only in terms of funding, but also to access to different technologies in order for you to support your SMEs. So with this, I end the webinar session here. Thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, if there are anything that you would like to share with us, please don't hesitate to connect via email or also through this QR code. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.